Hello folks, I've been asked a few questions by people about my cane practice reeds, so I'm going to try and answer some of them. I used to use, when I first started, which was about 1972, plastic reeds were kind of coming out, but they weren't great, and you could still get the cane reeds, which were had to soak, you couldn't play them otherwise, and they were good, but they're not very adjustable, and they're generally very hard to blow, very thick cane. Anyway, in the meantime, since then, people have come up with plastic practice, which are great, you know, very good. If you get a good run, you're onto a winner. But they don't give you the warmth and depth of a cane practice reed. So I decided to try and make one. I'd already been making small pipe reeds for quite a long time, so I thought, why not combine the two and see if we can make a small pipe reed for the practice chanter. So I took this. This is one of the staples from, see that, one of the staples from my practice reed. So I thought, well, why not put the, this is a slip from the small pipe reeds I make. Now this is very thin cane, and it utilises the shell, which is the hardest part of the cane. We chuck this bit away as pipers and bagpipe reed makers for Highland pipes, because you just can't use it, it's way too hard. So I decided to make that. So this obviously went onto the staple here, and then after a few tries and experiments with different things, you know, moving up and down, I found the ideal spot for where to tie this on. So we end up with this. Now it takes a lot of, you can't sand it down to this thinness when you're preparing that. You have to do it once it's all wrapped. So it takes a while to get it done, and then you use this bridle here. Now people often get confused about the bridle here as well. This is purely to open or close the mouth of the reed. Some people use elastic bands on practice chanters and things to make them easier, which works great for them. This must never be, I've known people to move this up from the binding here, it just ruins the reed. This never moves from this spot here. It's there purely to open or close the mouth. So if let's take some pliers here. So if I find that's too close, I don't know if you can see this, but so now I'm going to just give that a squeeze. See that opening up? Right, it will bounce back a bit, but now that is way too open. So we don't want to do that, do we? No. And it's actually split on the sides there as well, which is also not a good thing. So I'm just going to close it down again to where we would like it to be. And there we are, back to where we were before. Now you may find that the reed's too hard, too soft, not the pitch you want. I mean, if you open the mouth up a wee bit, it will flatten it off a wee bit, but then you probably have to make the cane a little bit lighter by scraping it. And I do this all the time. This is how I basically make them. I just take this and scrape with the cane, the grain, the cane, until it's doing what I want it to do. Now, there's a huge difference between these and small pipe reeds. Small pipe reeds have to be played dry all the time, see? But that's why they're normally bellows blown. Some people have pipes that are called small pipe reeds, but really what they are, it's not a small pipe chanter, it's a practice chanter with drones added, which sound great, you know. But if you try to put a small pipe reed in the chanter, it wouldn't sound right, although these would if it was a practice chanter. So when you put it in your chanter, it sounds okay. Okay, that's not bad, but you have to soak it in water, and I recommend you do that with originally, to make it wet, with hydrogen peroxide, 1% hydrogen peroxide. Now this will kill any mould or germs that are on there. It will go mouldy if you don't take care of it at first. Now when I say at first, I've done this a few times. I mean, dunked it in the hydrogen peroxide, it kills everything. I haven't touched mine since the first couple of 3 weeks. Keep dipping it, and I've had my one in for getting on for 2 years now. So as long as you don't let it get mouldy, you're good. I always leave mine in my chanter. It just sits there all the time wet. It doesn't seem to matter. Some people like to take them out and dry it, let them dry, and then to put them back in again. It's not something I would really recommend, because your cane's shrinking and going. I mean, it's opening, closing, opening, closing. I don't think that's such a good way of treating it. So I would recommend that you leave them in the practice chanter. Another benefit of these is the fact that you don't have to keep cleaning them out. You know, with plastic reeds like this, you're forever taking it out and blowing through it, get the moisture out and all that sort of stuff. You play it for a while and it gets wet. Now these thrive on the wet. They have to be played wet, otherwise you're not going to get the sound that you want. Of course, you're introducing moisture to it anyway because you're breathing on it, so and that will do the same thing. So cane has a memory. See, this is one of my slips again. You can see the difference in the curvature there. Now when I put this into water, this one is going to match the curve on the other one, and that's going to, you could drive a tank through the gap there, so that's no good to anybody. Then you use the pliers and the bridle, just close it down where you want it to be, and then Bob's your uncle, there you are, you've got it. Now when you're closing it down, it's best to just hold the blades together like that. Just give it a gentle pinch here, and if you could do it when it's wet, I would recommend it. Don't do it when it's dry. Do it when it's wet, and your cane won't snap on you. It's very delicate because it's so thin. It's less than it's about 1 millimeter thick, which I don't know what that's in American, but or imperial, should I say? Probably a 64th of an inch or something like that. Anyway, but you can move that around to wherever you want it to be. So give it a few tries, mess around with it, get the mouth bigger and smaller, and see how you get on. Like I said before, lovely warm tone, and it will play and play and play without you having to get the moisture out, because it just soaks all the moisture up. So there you go. That was some of the questions people have been asking me. If you have anything to ask or add to that, please let me know in the comments, as per usual. Anyway, all the best for now. Bye bye.